How do we know if we're on the right track? We want to check our motives. We want to be sure that our motives, underlying motives for our decisions, are not power, control, or fear. And that's a tricky, sneaky one. I have thought many times in my life that I was making a decision based on a certain aspect of myself, and recognized later that it was out of fear, or recognized later that there was some control, need for control wrapped in it. And positive control is okay. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more of a control that probably wouldn't be supportive for me. A need to control something that really is not in my control. Or this need for power. And decisions made out of power tend to not make us happy in the long run. Oh, I can have a bigger house, I can have a bigger car, I can have a bigger, better this. Or I need so many people underneath me. But what they find in studies on happiness through Harvard, they find that these things don't really make us happy. I mean, we've heard that before, but they really don't make us happy, these decisions based on power. So these are all important things to check your motives about. Also, we want to see, are we reacting to our situation, or are we responding from our soul's wisdom? If we're reacting, we're usually in a caterpillar mode, that fear place, right? Or are we responding from a more centered place, which takes cultivation? We're going to react. That's how we've reacted our whole life to such and such. We have to cultivate a new way. And so it's good to know whether you're reacting from an old pattern or are you responding. My daughter is my greatest teacher for this, because so quickly can I react to her. And so needing to have space and step back and respond in a way that I want to respond as a parent is always challenging me. It's always keeping me on my toes about that. And so what happens if we're reacting a lot, we're in this fight and flight mode. Our nervous system is stimulated, it's overreactive, and we're kind of like a bull in a china shop. And we're hurting things around us, even ourselves, because we're just reacting, instead of really being in touch with how we want to respond. My old sponsor in Al-Anon years ago, she said to me, urgency is not of spirit. I thought, wow, that is so profound, because I rush myself to here to there, and it's not of spirit. Urgency is not of spirit. So when you're reacting, you're urgent. You're feeling the need to react. It's more about instinctual defense. And sometimes we need that, don't get me wrong. If someone's breaking in your home, you want to react with urgency. But overall, in our overall lives and our decision-making processes, we don't want that to run our show, our more instinctual urges. So again, knowing that old pain that fuels our personality issues and our generational patterns, because we have generational patterns passed down to us from our family. We have some of mom and some of dad in us. We just do. And so recognizing those parts of ourselves that are similar to our parents or our caregivers, or the people that most influence us, and then being able to say, do I want to continue that pattern or do I want to break it? One pattern I've had to work on with myself is my mom is a busy woman. And so I've had to really learn to be less busy. I would write on my schedule week after week, do not overcommit, because I know that is a tendency for me because of my conditioning. So we want to just pay attention to those patterns.